Okay.
The voice changed.
Huh?
The voice changed, right?
Did it?
Before it was like, this meeting is being recorded. Now it's like recording in progress.
She's more robotic, I think.
Oh. Oh. What did we think of this section?
It was wild.
Yeah. Lowen is dumb.
Yeah. I don't know. This girl.
The double lock, when they were talking about the double lock, like I can lock you in and then I'll just come get you. Like,
Yeah.
no.
That I didn't like either. It was so weird.
I feel like that's gonna come into play later. Like,
yes,
that
exactly.
she'll be locked in the room, right?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly like in the previous meeting. I was like, you know what? I wanted to believe that maybe it was more Verity, the one being like the evil one, or the, and we do get that in her manuscript and stuff. But with that whole lock thing, it makes me believe it's Jeremy all over. Like,
Yeah, I'm suspicious as
yes,
hell
I
about
think
him.
Me too.
Verity is trapped. I don't think she's faking it or any of that, or like that's out of question in my eyes. It's he's bad.
It could go the other way. Yeah, he could be the one that caused Verity to be like that, and now he just wants like number two, and it's like gonna continue the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's faking it to protect herself / get him caught.
That could be it too.
That's also true.
Because I was thinking when she was reading about online, like the list of the characteristics of a psychopath, like that it's probably more him than Verity.
Could be. That part made me laugh because I was gonna Google it and then it said it.
Me too.
You did it for me.
Same. The thing that gets me though, I even wrote it down. This was obviously before the lock and all that stuff. I think he was. What did I write? Seeing you this worried about what you're capable of is starting to make me worry. He's talking to Lowen, and I was like, oh, he's not a psychopath. He's showing empathy. There's no way he doesn't have lack of empathy, But I mean, I feel like they don't have to hit every bullet to be one, right? I mean, I don't know. I still think it's him. He's crazy.
Or he's
well, we also have to find out. We have to find out what happened to the other twin, because we know that she didn't kill the favored twin, Chasten, but we don't know who killed. I'm forgetting the name of the other twin. That's like so ironic. But I'm forgetting the name of the other twin. Yeah, Harper. We don't know yet what happened to her. So I don't know, like maybe she ended up killing Harper and then Jeremy was so upset about it that he caused her accident, So like I don't necessarily like Verity is obviously like an awful person. That scene with the twin was disturbing as hell. It was very upsetting to read. So she's clearly a very messed up person. But I just feel like Jeremy has been like too perfect this whole time. I don't trust it. And now like Lowen is like, it's like the same thing like as with the last book we read, where she was so like she thought her brother was like so great. But we were kind of getting an unreliable narrator account, and I feel like it's the same thing with Jeremy. She's just like, Jeremy is amazing, but I feel like something's got to be up. Something's got to be up with him.
He's too perfect, and he does things like creates this act of like trying to get her to fall for him, like saying he lied about Verity reading Lowen's book, that he read it and he cared. Just because she had said that no one really cares about her writing, like manipulating.
Yeah.
It was so weird how she was like, oh, no one will ever say this. And then he said it right after. I really like that was a little bit cliche.
You're looking a little desperate, Lowen.
I think it's fishy. Like this manuscript was pretty easy for her to find, and it was obviously very personal, and he acted like he tried to go through her notes. So I just feel like like he should have found it, seen it was inappropriate, and like, hid it or burned it. So did he plant this manuscript? Could he have been the one who wrote it even? I'm curious about.
I feel like, yes, he either saw it, but I think I'm leaning more towards he wrote it
Mhm.
and planted it there.
The reason I think he wrote it is the teeth mark thing on the headboard.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's writing this erotic play-by-play for her, and he knows that she likes it, and then the same thing happens. The same encounter happens with them. Like, I just think that's too parallel for him not to have written it.
Yeah, and like how when she asked how they met and he told her like, word for word what the story said.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been like what, a lot of years. Like, would he really have remembered everything exactly? I don't know. Just fishy.
And isn't a sign of a psychopath narcissism? Because in Verity's autobiography, he's like a god to her. Like, if I was writing about myself, I would do the same.
And I think that's why it doesn't match when Lowen is talking about him. And then, like, you know how we mentioned that in the previous meeting? Maybe that's why they don't match. Because it's him.
And
like he seems like less intense and less like possessive and all that in real life versus the manuscript.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Karina.
Thanks, Kitty. You know how there was one line somewhere that said like, oh, the bay windows were put there in the office, or the big windows were put there so Verity could watch Jeremy. And then he tore up that deck, and didn't he say that he just tore it up to tear it up? He wasn't really going to do anything with it. I wonder if like he knows that Lowen is also watching like that kind of stuff. So he's kind of like, setting the scene to seduce her. And on another note, the part with the death of the twin was kind of upsetting for me because I have several kids this year with like nut allergies and one severe. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's made me even more paranoid. That's interesting.
What do we think happened there? Because Jeremy says that they were super like into it, saying like, telling the moms like she has a serious peanut allergy, about the EpiPen and all that stuff. Do we think it was the sister, or do you think it was an accident? Well, I mean, they made it seem like it was an accident, right? That they went and they got the snacks.
Yeah, but it's so weird. Like, if you're suffocating, you think the kids would wake up. If you think you'd be like
Making some sort of
or
noise,
something.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So if they're all just laying probably like on the floor in the same room, you think they would have woken up.
Yeah.
The whole thing was weird.
He might have, if he did write it, like maybe Verity did like chasten more, just like not being able to accept that Harper had Asperger's, and maybe Harper did have some resentment. But I just don't see, especially a child with Asperger's, doing something like that, especially an 8-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was just an accident. But he blamed Verity for it.
Yeah, I also feel like I really don't want it to have been the sister, because that plays into Verity's awful delusions about her own kid, like, and her delusions as to why she is abusing one kid and not the other, like. So I feel I'm like reluctant to go down that path, because I feel like, I just, I don't know. I think that she has all these like crazy, if it is actually what she's doing and not Jeremy writing it, like she clearly has a lot of very messed up thoughts about her kids and is definitely an abuser. So, ugh.
And then like if Jeremy wrote it, what's his motivation? Like, what's his motivation to get Lowen there? Like, to keep his wife alive or kill her. I don't know.
I would think money. Like maybe Verity is putting up this front that she's sick. He might not believe that or know that, but he's like, well, I need to make money somehow, so let me bring in this girl that I could also, mess around with.
Because he doesn't come from money.
Right.
And he's not working, so.
Yeah, the alpaca farm.
Maybe he wants to kind of instigate something between Verity and Lowen, so Lowen kills Verity instead, and he can cash in on life insurance money / the book deal once Lowen's done with the book. That would be like 2 really big chunks of change.
You're right. That would make sense.
Did you guys ever watch the Netflix show Dirty John? Basically, just like a con man. It's a con man who preys on like older women for their money and like does everything to make them fall in love with him, and then like takes all their money and leaves, and does it again and again.
Maybe you're muted.
Maybe he wants to keep Lowen, and maybe he will make it or help make it so it seems like self-defense too. That way Lowen won't really get in that much trouble.
The other
go ahead.
Reason I think he wrote it is if Verity's such a good writer, because at the beginning of the manuscript when she had the babies and like had no interest in them, and then like kind of not randomly, but she's like all of a sudden decided to like Chasten, like that love just grew randomly. And then even Lowen said when she was reading the later part of it got boring. And if you're like a good writer, even if you're writing by yourself, you'd be more interesting / be able to build that plot better, even if it's your own life. I don't know, that's just a thought.
Yeah.
And he would read Lowen's book, but he wouldn't read his wife, who he can't really talk to anymore.
I wonder if the nurses will be involved with it somehow too. Like maybe one of them's getting paid off to help make it seem like giving Verity a sedative or something, and the IVs. Who knows? Oh no, I think Katie froze.
Yeah, I think she did.
So what do you think about like when Lowen saw Verity on the top of the stairs? Like, do you think she really saw her? And then Verity's like, yeah, faking this or pretending to fake this.
It could be her brain, like the amygdala, pretending something's there because she feels that guilt and paranoia that maybe she is alive. I would have been freaked out, but I don't know if it's real or not.
I don't know if it's real or not either, because then it's like she's mad. So then it like part of the story then is obviously true, but then it doesn't fit with the whole Jeremy being, I don't know. I want to say that maybe she was there, but then I don't know. I didn't like that part because I'm like, damn it, now I don't know what's going on. Honestly, you're just. Oh, Denise said her mic is not working. Okay. I don't know. I feel like, what's her name? Lowen even said she's like, I know she was there, and I don't think she was like sleep deprived and all that stuff, and I don't think. Actually, I don't even trust Lowen either. So honestly, yeah, I don't know.
I feel like maybe she can get up because I feel like that would make the book really scary, right? And Katie said that people were saying this book is so frightening, like I can't sleep. I feel like that would be the thing that makes it that much more scary, but I'm not sure if I truly predict it yet. All right, Katie will be back in a bit. Her Wi-Fi went out.
Okay.
Well, maybe there still is a way that like Jeremy is behind the accident or like behind some nefarious stuff, but Verity is also still sort of faking it. I don't know how, but I don't know, maybe she's afraid, maybe she's being drugged, and like sometimes the drugging kind of goes away and she is able to do stuff, and other times she's not. This, I don't think this, but hey, maybe they're both of them are in cahoots somehow. I don't know. I don't think so. But.
I was thinking about that because I'm like, okay, you know how we know Verity is not super innocent or super clean with her thoughts. She's like really dark. Right. And I'm thinking, what if she told or came clean about everything she did, and Jeremy is the one who wrote it, and it's true. It's not like he made it up. It's just like, I don't know about the whole working together, but I feel like Verity, what has been said about her is true. Came clean with to Jeremy, and then probably Jeremy got mad, and then he's like, he, you know, and then he did what he did. And then he wrote about it, but I just, it's still kind of, it's suspicious. I don't know. I don't like him.
What if they're both in cahoots, and since Jeremy was so mad, he's like, okay, you're gonna have to stay in this like comatose state for this many years as your punishment, then I'll take you back. And then what if he wants to like get Lowen pregnant to help like replace the twins or something? Do you think it would go that far?
I was thinking about him trying to get her pregnant, but I'm like, why? Like, I guess to replace the children you lost, because you know when he's like, oh, I don't have a condom, I'll pull out.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah,
really?
That was weird.
Yeah, that made it seem like she's gonna end up pregnant, and you know, I'm just like, oh god.
Yeah, it could go any direction really. There's a lot of unknowns still.
Mm-hmm. And Darlene said that'd be insane, but probably likely because yeah, he was so willing. And maybe it was the whole fact that he hasn't been with someone, and he was just like he just wanted it at that moment with the only girl he can see. But I don't know. I feel like
that threw me off too. Like, I'm like, okay, really, you're supposed to be this like extremely attractive guy, this like sex god or whatever, and you've not been with anyone, and then this random like recluse author that's like no one knows of is like, you were so obsessed with her that you had her come here, and now you're like in love with her and like cheating on your wife with her in the same house. Like, it's all happening really fast and it's really intense, and she seems like totally different from Verity, kind of like it's just a very different type, you know.
Yeah,
so it's just very strange.
I wonder if she was an easy pick for him though. Like, she was more vulnerable than other people he knew, and I think it came up a little bit last time that she doesn't have someone who's going to come looking for her too. Maybe it was like the attraction plus it'll be easy to get this person and entrap them or lock them in the room.
It's like the dirty John example that Caitlin brought up. It's like she's an easy target, and he's all of a sudden just so loves her, right? No one's ever told her that her writing meant something to him, and now he's like having crazy sex with her. I'm just like, I feel like this is all like a fantasy thing that he's creating for her.
And I definitely think that he, like with Verity, he was more in love with the writing and the stuff that she created, not so much Verity. And so like when he said, oh, I'm the one who read your stuff, Lowen, like, I want you, I think it was because of the writing, not so much like the person. And I'm like, what? I don't know. Maybe he has a fantasy to be with really good writers. I don't know. He's weird. I mean, what?
The writing is his fetish.
Yeah, exactly. Because like with Verity, I feel like there was that big switch once he read her stuff and was like, you know what, it's so good. Like, marry me.
Yeah.
You know?
But
and now it's like, I want you. I'm like,
yeah. When you said that, it reminded me though, like her publicist or the other guy, whatever his name was, didn't she say that about him too? Like, oh, he liked my writing and he thought like that I'd be like that. But like they got together, but it wasn't like what the guy thought it was, so then it didn't work out. I wonder if a similar thing will happen with Jeremy and Lowen.
What if he's like a super fan? Like he loves these books and like is so enthralled with them, like he's blurring the lines of reality in these books. And it's like trying to create a real life situation.
Oh.
That would be interesting because, like, why did they go into her and the publicist? Like, that would make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Also, did they say exactly what Lowen's books are about? I think all they said was that they're kind of similar or like in the same genre as Verity, but she's never really talked about what her books are about, right? Or has she?
Yeah, I don't know if they said like thriller, which also surprises me that, I mean, I know what stuff Verity is writing is messed up, but if you're that type of author, I feel like her physical reactions are very strong if she's a thrill writer or a crime writer.
Yeah, I think it is similar, but I remember she said that she hasn't written stuff like Verity, so maybe it's because her stuff is more intense than hers. I don't know.
I wonder if Lowen will kill Verity when she's sleepwalking, and that's how she'll get away with it. Like maybe Jeremy will know how to induce her sleepwalking, especially since she's starting to tell him more about it.
That too. The sleepwalking is gonna pop up again. I have a feeling.
I think so.
I was wondering, especially Judith, what you think, like, how this is kind of a romance. If you would consider this a romance at all, or a romance novel.
That's the thing too, because I do keep going back to the whole it's a romantic thriller, and there's the thriller part, but the romance, I'm like, is it between Lowen and Jeremy? Because it doesn't seem like your typical like it was just kind of like at the end. Like in the beginning, I did see it like when they first met and all that stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna fall in love. Obviously, I don't want that anymore. I'm just like, ugh. But I don't know. It's different than any romantic thriller. I would call it more of a thriller. I mean, I don't think the romance part is a big thing in here.
It's like secondary.
Yeah. Darlene said, I also kind of wonder why Verity didn't do anything when Lowen laid on her bed. Yeah.
That was creepy.
If she was faking it, wouldn't she, like, it's only them two in the room. Shouldn't she have done something? And then, make it seem like, Lowen is just crazy if she's over here thinking that, like, Verity was talking or that she moved her or something, So that makes me believe that Verity is not faking it.
Yeah, or like, yeah, because if she was really, I don't know, if she was really as psycho as we think, and she has access maybe to that knife, yeah, you think she would have like killed her or something.
That's true, that knife too.
But
unless she was sedated.
Yeah, unless she's drugged.
True.
And it's like something that like sometimes of the day maybe it kind of wears off, whereas other parts it's more, I don't know.
That's also true. That would make sense.
It would be ironic if Verity did roll her off the bed, though, and then she breaks like the other wrist and has an identical scar on the other side. I think that would be weirdly funny. I'm still thinking about the romantic thriller part, and it's very different than the first romantic thriller we read. Remember, Judith, the Guardian?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that one, it was like 50-50-ish, like thriller romance, but then, of course, it was Nicholas Sparks, so there was more romance, but it's when I feel like it's more heavy on the thriller scary part aspect.
That I would call a romantic thriller for sure. Because we were like, oh my gosh, there's a little love triangle. But then you get the thriller part and you're like, oh shoot, this is crazy. We don't like that guy and stuff like that. But here it's more you kind of get the little romance in the beginning. At least I was like, oh my goodness, this guy, the one who saved her or like helped her, he's gonna be at the end. Now it's more who is doing what, and you know, like it's just all sketch. And I feel like I kind of forget about the romance, and I'm like, yeah, they bring in the whole sex scenes and stuff, but I'm like, I don't really like what's going on. You know, I'm not really rooting for them to be together.
I thought it was really funny how Lowen started getting bored of the sex scenes and she starts
Yeah. Which explained what you noticed last time. You were like, why did we go from like chapter 5 to 9 and then 13? And I like that she explained that. But it is funny how she did that.
Yeah.
It makes me think though, like since Jeremy helped her in the beginning, I wonder how much he was kind of like following or stalking her before, because he was like right there. I feel like that's too good to be true. At the beginning, I didn't really question it, but since I brought up the other book, it made me think about that, and I'm like, no, that seems like what the other person did, kind of just like be at your work and be very attuned to her routine. So I'm thinking more and more that Jeremy is going to do something malicious, or he is malicious, because it seems too good to be true.
When I was thinking about how they met, it got me thinking, like, what if he caused the accident? What if he somehow pushed this dude in the, you know, like, who is the person that died? Is it connected to this whole thing? Did he plan this out this far behind? Because I mean, I feel like it could be a possibility, but I don't know.
Yeah,
crazy.
If he did, then that means that he put himself in a position to help her when she was like really, really vulnerable and freaked out with like blood on her. And then like it's going to be very hard for Lowen to lose that perception of him, especially because he also is like classically attractive, and now they're, you know, having relations and stuff. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely coming up with like crazier and crazier theories because this book is very crazy and all this crazy stuff keeps happening. So nothing's off the table.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like I did see, because at some point I was on TikTok and I wanted to see, they call it book talk. So it's just different books and stuff like that. And that's how I also saw the book that I'm going to recommend. But they showed one specifically and they're like, this is one book you should not read at night. And I was about to read at 10 p.m. because I was like, oh, let me just scroll. And they showed that book and I was like, is this a sign that I shouldn't read? I don't know. But they were kind of saying that at the end, it's where it just goes crazy. So I think we're still in for something more intense than what we've already seen.
I think so too.
I feel like the sun, like, is there gonna be something weird with the sun? Like, I don't know. Was he involved in the murders at all of the twins?
Was he was born when the first one died, right?
I think he was born when they were alive.
Was he in the sleepover?
I don't think so.
I think he's too young, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, it was like between her and her friends, right? Like a friend's house. So I don't think what's the kid's name again?
Crew.
Yeah, I don't think he was there. Yeah.
Eileen said
Chasten. The mom I was thinking the mom must have abused him, but I guess they had nannies, so she just wasn't really involved. But he was clearly like not a wanted child. You know?
And Darlene wrote, why does he not even care about the twins? And I mean, it's true.
How old was he when they died? Maybe he doesn't remember them too much.
But he got so upset when they were looking at their pictures.
Oh yeah, I forgot that.
How old was the first one when she died? Because I went back to the beginning and the Harper died at 8 years old, and it was 5 months ago from what's the present in the book. So that one's fairly new. But I don't know when the other one died. Do you guys remember?
I'm not sure. Like 5, maybe? Was she like 5?
Yeah.
I can't remember. But I don't know. I just like something's weird with him.
About the kid. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, why? I mean, they could have this whole story without the kid, you know? Unless it's something to do with the mom, Verity, and the kid. Or maybe he's trying to help the mom. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought the kid was maybe going to be used as like a reason that they couldn't hook up, but then they hooked up anyway. So
Oh, he's upstairs. Let me
I thought that the kid might interrupt them, and I was like, that would be so bad.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Oh man.
Definitely no. Another reason why it's suspicious is like he didn't seem to have any qualms. Like he was going for it, and he wasn't like, oh, my wife, or like, oh, I feel bad. Like there was no shame. There was no like, moment of, having complicated thoughts about it. It was just like, yeah, let's hook up on my bed, on the bed I shared with my wife, like in the house where she still is. And I'm not saying that, like, I'm sure that it's like that he was lonely and like she's supposedly like can't, function or anything. But I would think there'd be like at least a little bit of like, I don't know, hesitation or some kind of discussion about that. I don't know. But he just like was all in.
Yeah. Yeah, that was weird.
Which makes it seem more like he actually did something to Verity. And then when that happened, he's like, oh, Verity's up there. And he's like, oh, I put a lock. That's like, okay, keep her in so she doesn't come out and interrupt. So is she kind of able to function then? I don't know. It's Jeremy, dude.
He's sus.
Definitely.
Oof.
Let me see what I wrote.
I can't wait to keep reading. This is hard to like stop at that point.
It was really hard. I read it early.
It was a good stopping point though.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
it was so hard not to read more.
Yes. What did you all think about Verity's parents and how the dad told Jeremy like God punishes the wicked when he called to say like, the twins had died and she had gone in an accident?
Oh yeah, that was weird. Huh?
I'm surprised that wasn't in her autobiography because I would think that would be a significant thing to talk about in terms of the, like, I don't know, like she never mentioned anything about religion, nothing about any of that. Why wouldn't that be in your autobiography? It seems strange.
I wonder if Jeremy ever met the parents. I know he said he didn't really know about them, but obviously the parents seem very religious. And with the whole thing that you guys are saying that maybe Crew is up to something, all I can think about is like a demon child, and 2 of his girls are gone.
Yeah.
Going back to the whole like, what if he wants to create another one with Lowen? I don't know. And the fact that they're bringing in religion, that makes me like, what if he's some sort of
right? Like what happened?
I think it also, I just was thinking about this. I think another piece of evidence as to why Jeremy maybe wrote the manuscript, the autobiography, is it literally starts, her autobiography, the story of her life, starts when she meets him. That's chapter 1. Like, you didn't have a life before you met him. I know you're obsessed with him, but like she
Right.
seems very obsessed with herself in general. So why wouldn't you write more about your life before you met him?
Mhm.
Like that's a little weird. And about your crazy religious upbringing.
Exactly. I feel like that would have been good too. I mean, she was clearly mad, but I feel like that would have been a key point to just be like, ah, you know, my life sucks and I'm obsessed now with this man, but never did she mention parents. Never did she mention any of that.
Yeah, I feel also she would have been like if she really had a tense relationship with her parents, she would be like, I'm so glad I'm with Jeremy, so I don't have to like care about my parents, deal with them anymore, you know. Yeah, that's pretty sketch actually. That was a good point, Paula.
Mhm.
Do you think that the dock is going to come into play? Like, is he tearing it off so that no one can leave, like via boat? Like, because they keep talking about it.
What did he say?
Or is he trying to get like, because they said Harper drowned, so maybe he's trying to get rid of evidence before the police come in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Evidence, but you think the investigation's over for that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like when he has Lowen kill Verity.
Oh, true. Thinking of head.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if Lowen kills Verity and that's what Jeremy wants her to do, like maybe he'll flip on her real quick and pretend like he doesn't know her, care about her, like no, we never talked. She stayed in the office doing her job, you know, and then the police will come take her away. Because he could say like, oh, I let you into my home and you betrayed me by killing my wife or something. I don't know.
Or you can be with the only way you can be with me is if you get rid of her.
Yeah.
Oof. And I feel like based off what she's read, she's like, you're already a horrible person. Like, why not?
Yeah. Or if Jeremy did write it that bad and then he wrote it so she would seem that bad and Lowen will hate her and then kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I do think she's pretty bad.
Another reason I think he might have written it is when Verity's talking about her body, it just sounds like a man is writing it.
Yeah, wasn't there that whole thing where she was like, women don't know the kind of dress that a man likes. Like,
Yeah.
a man likes a dress that you can, access.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had to brag about his body count too. He had to get that in there.
That's true. Like he said, it was too many, right, to remember or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Also, another observation, I don't want to be TMI, but he keeps bringing up, in the manuscript, it keeps being like, she liked giving a sex act to him, like that is
Right.
very like, so maybe that's another clue.
That makes sense.
He's trying to give
like that,
Lowen
I don't know,
hints.
that's a very guy-centric thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good point. You're right.
Doesn't she even say like she prefers to do that than like be on the receiving end or something? Like she wants
Right.
to
Yeah.
And again, Lowen started getting bored of all the sex scenes. Like maybe Verity had them every once in a while in her books, but I doubt she's doing play-by-play like I think Jeremy is.
Maybe Jeremy did it because he was that bored and he's like,
Yeah.
it's gonna keep me, excited for a bit since I don't have someone.
Mm-hmm. And if Verity was really so jealous, maybe she wouldn't even want to write it down because then people might find out, right? Like Lowen's finding out and now she's starting to like desire Jeremy. But if she didn't read that at all, maybe she'd just be like, okay, he's very cute. He's, I have a crush on him, but not as much as after she read the book because it seemed like after she was starting to, like her, want him more.
Do we think that Verity muted the TV when she was watching what was it, the Wheel of Fortune or something? Or what do you think happened there? Diane said yes.
Well, there was no one else in the room unless,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But why would she do that? To try and scare her?
Yes, I think so.
How could she not flinch when she's like throwing a baseball up by her
That
head or
too.
something?
And
Well, but then she peed at a very key moment, so maybe that was her way.
oh, yeah.
It was like right after, I forget what Lowen said, but it was like the most, like, her biggest insult, and then Verity just like pees. So I don't know.
That Santa was an accident.
Yeah, it was an odd reaction.
I just saw that you can react with any emoji now, but I clicked on that one by mistake. Oh, Dailene says maybe it's similar to how Lowen was when she's sleepwalking, like in the video, that she was just standing there. That could be true too. And it kind of goes to what we were saying, like maybe if she is being sedated, it wears off sometimes and she's kind of lucid or trying to walk around. But I wonder if she has to get back really quickly so nobody finds out if she's not in cahoots with Jeremy, because then he might up her dosage. I don't know.
Mm.
What
This
if
is probably too far
like,
fetched, but
this-
Jeremy's. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, Jeremy's always on his iPad. What if he's controlling like the TVs and just messing with Lowen, turning them on and off? But I don't know. That might be just going way too far.
I just
I
learned to
mean-
watch TV with my phone.
That's a good point. If he is plotting all this, I think he would try and do that to make. I don't know. I think it supports it. That's gross, Jeremy. What? I almost thought you were going to say, "What if she's controlling Verity through the iPad?" You're just a robot.
Yeah, a little robot.
Actually, a
Whoa.
sci-fi book.
Oh my gosh. That's intense.
Yeah.
That's intense.
I was gonna say that I think the thing that would actually be the most shocking / disappointing would be is if it's all how we think it is, and Verity's just crazy, and Jeremy is wonderful and perfect, and like that is all there is, you know? But I don't think that's how it's gonna turn out. But I think that would be the most disappointing for us, is if just like Verity is just evil and she did everything, and poor Jeremy just had to deal with her the whole time. I don't think that's how it's going to turn out, but I think that would be the most disappointing.
Yeah, and then she just like Verity just does something crazy at the end.
Yeah.
No, he seems too nice, too squeaky clean, and he's over here like, oh, Verity, like I have to be with my kids and all that, and then Lauren comes and she's like, no, what do you want? You have to be selfish. I want you. What? No, like that's I don't know. If that happens, oh God, you know what? We're stuck. Throw it to the wall. Oh God. I don't.
We've come up with some very creative predictions, so I agree with Paula that it would be kind of disappointing if it was the most straightforward thing.
Yeah. Do you think like the big twist will be something in the present or learning about something in the past, or both?
That's a good question.
Like, would the big twist be Harper's death, or not?
I feel we need to know more about Verity's past with her parents, and then also with what happened before Jeremy, especially when Paola made that point about like her autobiography starts upon meeting him. So there's, you know, her entire childhood and adulthood, that early adulthood that we don't know about, and maybe something happened there too. Like maybe her parents abused her and that's why, you know, they didn't like each other. Maybe they're super religious and she didn't want that. I don't know.
Or maybe it's kind of like Lowen, where she was coming from like a place where she was vulnerable, and Jeremy like took her under his wing and like helped her, kind of like what he's doing with Lowen. And it's like, I don't know, it's like maybe it's like the same kind of thing that he did. And that autobiography is, you know, he was actually using Verity, and Verity was like, you know, not the aggressor.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very intrigued, and like so far, I really like the book and I'd recommend it, but I'm like hesitant to recommend it to people because I'm waiting. Yeah, I'm waiting to see what happens.
Yeah. I think the interesting thing at the end will probably be the past, learning about everything that, if we're going with the whole Jeremy did this, I think it's gonna, like, let's say Verity does die, Lowen kills her or something like that. I think it's gonna be more shocking to find out all the things Jeremy has done than like that. Because it's like, oh, Verity dies, okay, you know? And I feel like it's more, what happened to Harper? Did Jeremy actually plot it since the beginning? And, you know, like, just if they reveal everything he's done, I think that's more like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, we never thought that, you know, that kind of thing. But I think I kind of want to read it right now. But I don't know. Will it be too scary?
I know, but what if it gets scary?
That's the thing, because I feel like everything I've read, I think I'm pretty good with, like, not having nightmares or being scared. And the only part was when she was upstairs, I was like, oh, Verity. And I was like, oh, God, you know? But what if it's this part that just goes super intense, and I don't know. Maybe I won't.
So far, I've listened to the audiobook at night a few times and I've been fine so far, but we'll see.
Exactly.
We'll have to
We don't
see.
know the last part. They might. Oof.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might do it. So our last section is to the end.
Yay!
Yay!
Can't
Excited
wait
to see how that goes. Yeah. Any more comments on this?
I'm also very curious to see what happens.
Should we do the voting how we did it last time?
I like the idea of us all putting our names to like the same letter, and then it is pretty much still anonymous, like Kitty
Yeah.
said the last time. Or to any random letter, it doesn't have to be the same.
Oh, our names?
Yeah, because then it'll come out like that in the chat.
Oh, I see.
You don't know like who is who.
How do you do that?
There's 3 dots on the top right hand corner. Click that and it should let you rename yourself, and then it could be anything, and then we can do the chat waterfall so it's all at once.
Oh, do I have to be on the app thing?
I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know either.
I don't think Mine will let me do it because I'm on my phone. I'll try.
Profile.
I don't really care if it's anonymous. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I did it last time. It's asking me to sign in. I don't know my password.
Okay, we can just leave it with our names too.
It's
then.
okay. We can just.
Oh, I also want to say that my mom read Mexican Gothic, and she's gonna start all the Ugly and Wonderful Things soon too.
Oh, nice. She's following our book club, just like one book behind us.
Kind of, but
Yeah.
I usually tell her to read the ones that I think she'll like. And she kind of had our same opinion of Mexican Gothic that was like, okay, but like too much like, I forgot what she said. Not enough Mexican culture in Mexican Gothic.
How she expected it to be.
Yeah, and then my mom reads a lot of like murder thrillers similar to this book. Like I know she'll like Verity, so she'll probably read it after this one.
Okay. So who wants to go first with their book? I'm just gonna write them down.
I'm not sure if I want to recommend mine now or save it for like October with a scary book theme month. I don't know.
Is a thriller, horror?
I switched the book, but I'm saving Misery for October because I feel like that one's more scary. Okay, I'll just go along with this one. This one is The Green Mile by Stephen King. There's a movie with Tom Hanks as well, and this one's different. It's more like supernatural, and some parts are actually I read it before, but a long time ago. So I don't really remember. I think I read it when I was like in middle school or something. And I would say it's kind of like a little bit historical fiction too, because it's set in 1920s or 1950s, I think. And it's set in a prison with prisoners on death row, and like some crazy stuff happens. But all I know is I've really liked every Stephen King book that I've read so far, so I think that this one will be my rec.
Okay, and that is by Stephen King. 4 point. It's got good ratings.
Do you want me to read yours, Eileen?
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, Eileen. Whoa. Oh, go ahead, Corinna. You can read it.
All right. So Darlene's recommendation is, for years, rumors of the Marsh Girl haunted Barkley Cove, a quiet fishing village. Ooh, haunting. Kaya Clark is barefoot and wild, unfit for polite society. So in late 1969, when the popular Chase Andrews is found dead, locals immediately suspect her. But Kaya is not what they say. A born naturalist with just one day of school, she takes life's lessons from the land, learning the real ways of the world from the dishonest signals of fireflies. But while she has the skills to live in solitude forever, the time comes when she yearns to be touched and loved. Drawn to two young men from town, who are each intrigued by her wild beauty, Kaya opens herself to a new and startling world until the unthinkable happens. In Where the Crawdads Sing, Owens juxtaposes an exquisite ode to the natural world against a profound coming-of-age story and haunting mystery. Thought-provoking, wise, and deeply moving, Owens' debut novel reminds us that we are forever shaped by the child within us, while also subject to the beautiful and violent tech.
I've read this book and it's really good. So just so you guys know, very good book. And also they're making a movie out of it, in case that is interesting.
I think I heard about that. I've seen this book many times. It was in Recess, right? Yeah, it was in Recess.
Yeah.
Is she in the movie?
Yeah, I really liked it. I read it too, and
You read it too?
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
really liked it.
It's really good.
Yeah, I'd read it again and tried to be quiet.
And try to be. I was just gonna ask, would you be able to not?
But yeah, but like, don't pick it if you want it. Don't not pick it because we read it, because it is really
yeah.
good.
Don't not pick it because we said so. It's good.
I think sometimes when you read books, you're still like different. And I sometimes read books and I'm like, oh wait, I made a connection that I didn't make the last time.
Darlene said, darn. It's okay.
I can go next whenever we're ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So mine is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. So it's Greek mythology, based. I've never heard of this particular Greek story, but I think you say his name Patroclus, something like that. Patroclus. I don't know.
Patroclus.
Patroclus. Thank you. I can't read. He's an awkward young prince, and he's exiled to the court of some king and the king's perfect son Achilles. So I believe it's a romance, as well as Greek mythology. Profoundly moving and breathtaking original, this rendering of the epic Trojan War is a dazzling feat of imagination, a devastating love story, and an almighty battle between gods, kings, peace, glory, immortal fame, and human heart. It has a 4.4 on Goodreads. And then everyone I've known who's read it and the reviews say they like sobbed. So at the end.
You guys gonna vote for that one?
I've been that sounds really bad if I'm like, I've been meaning to like have a good cry.
I've also read it. I've also read it, and it's so good. It's so good.
Did you sob?
I didn't sob, but it's excellent. It's really, really good.
My goodness.
I highly recommend both of the books I've already read.
So yeah, that was mine. And I think she has another one called Circe.
I read her other one too.
Oh, you
it's
did?
Also really good. I started with Circe, and I read Song of Achilles because I liked Circe so much. I really liked Circe a lot. They're very different though. Song of Achilles is like a pure romance, and Circe has some romance in it, but it's more about like the character and her journey.
Okay. Which one did you like better? Because I have Circe, like I bought it, but I didn't have it read it.
I think I liked Circe better, but I really liked both of them.
I'm adding those to my list.
And I like Greek mythology.
Yeah, I
I
like it too, but I don't read it as much.
Mm-hmm.
We have quite a mix of genres already. This is cool.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, Karina, The Green Mile was the first movie that ever made me cry.
It makes me cry like every time I watch it, even though I remember what happens. Yeah, that one, it's a tearjerker. It's very sad. Sorry, I'll stop because it's like I'm continuing my pitch.
So we just need a book that's going to make us cry.
I guess so.
Oh man. I'll go next. This one is by the same author as our current book. It's called It Ends With Us by Colleen. So it goes. Sometimes it's the one who loves you who hurts you the most. Lily hasn't always had it easy, but that's never stopped her from working hard for the life she wants. She's come a long way from the small town in Maine where she grew up. She graduated from college, moved to Boston, and started her own business. So when she feels a spark with a gorgeous neurosurgeon named, I think it's Ryle, because it's spelled like Kyle, maybe it's Riley. Everything in Lily's life suddenly seems almost too good to be true. He's assertive, stubborn, maybe even a little arrogant. He's also sensitive, brilliant, and has a total soft spot for Lily. And the way he looks in scrubs certainly doesn't hurt. Lily can't get him out of her head, but his complete aversion to relationships is disturbing. Even as Lily finds herself becoming the exception to his no dating rule, she can't help but wonder what made him that way in the first place. As questions about her new relationship overwhelm her, so do thoughts of Atlas, her first love and link to the past she left behind. He was her kindred spirit, her protector. When he suddenly reappears, everything Lily has built with Ryle is threatened. And all the reviews technically say everyone should read this. It's super good. It's life-changing. And I don't know if it'll make you cry, but it keeps appearing in like everywhere all my social medias. Obviously they can see that I'm reading the other book of Colleen, so I'm pretty sure that's why it appeared. But so far, everyone's like 5 stars, 5 stars. I think it's also romance.
Right.
So we'll see.
All right, I'll go next. I'm going to throw out a big curveball with this one. So I already know that it's likely not going to be chosen, but I just thought, why not throw something different into the mix? So I'm actually going to suggest a nonfiction, which I don't even know if this group likes nonfiction. So I don't, you know, I like reading both. I normally read more fiction than nonfiction, but every once in a while I'll read a nonfiction. So my book is called Empire of Pain: The Secret History of the Sackler Dynasty. I don't know if you guys watch John Oliver, but he recently did a segment on these guys because they're the company, or they own the company behind like the OxyContin and the opioid crisis. So this book kind of goes into their history. I'll just read the synopsis. The Sackler name adorns the walls of many storied institutions: Harvard, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, Oxford, the Louvre. They are one of the richest families in the world, known for their lavish donations to the arts and sciences. The source of the family fortune was vague, however, until it emerged that the Sacklers were responsible for making and marketing OxyContin, a blockbuster painkiller that was the catalyst for the opioid crisis. Empire of Pain is a masterpiece of narrative reporting and writing, exhaustively documented and ferociously compelling. So it has really good reviews. It's on like Obama's book list or something. And I was just interested in it because I have been hearing more about this family, and so yeah, that's my rec. But I will not be. I know that I didn't know if this group did nonfiction, so I just thought I'd throw it out there.
Any book is an option. That's what I think. I don't know if I mentioned it when you joined us. Maybe. I don't think so. But I like that because we do get any book that anybody's interested in. I have read stuff that I would have never grabbed and I actually enjoyed. And I think in the club, that's what's good overall. Because, I mean, we're kind of forced to read whatever gets chosen. I mean, you can be like, I don't want to read it and get out for that month. But I think it's good to read stuff you're uncomfortable with. And I have been reading some books that I'm like, I don't like it, but at least I read it. And, you know, I knew that I wasn't into it. So, I mean, it's a good thing that you brought that up. Because we are doing mostly fiction, but that doesn't mean we're not open to nonfiction and stuff about, you know, the real world.
I really like nonfiction too. I usually do like one fiction, one nonfiction. Like I alternate them.
And I don't do drugs at all, but I like learning about them. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I love Breaking Bad. So.
Yeah. It's like rich people Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay. Let's see.
Julie, I think you're the last.
Oh yeah, I have one. Okay, mine's totally different than everyone's. It's called The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So it says, if you're looking for a book to take on holiday this summer, this book has got all the glitz glamour to make it a perfect beach read. From the New York Times bestselling author of Daisy Jones and the Six, an entrancing and wildly addictive journey of a reclusive Hollywood starlet as she reflects on her relentless rise to the top and the risks she took, the loves she lost, and the long-held secrets the public could never imagine. Aging and reclusive Hollywood movie icon, Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life. But when she chooses unknown Magazine reporter Monique Grant for the job. No one is more astounded than Monique herself. Why her? Why now? Monique is not exactly on top of the world. Her husband has left her and her professional life is going nowhere. Regardless of why Evelyn has selected her to write her biography, Monique is determined to use this opportunity to jumpstart her career. Summoned into Evelyn's luxurious apartment, Monique listens in fascination as the actress tells her story. From making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s, to her decision to leave show business in the 80s, and of course the 7 husbands along the way, Evelyn unspools a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. Monique begins to feel a very real connection to the legendary star, but as Evelyn's story nears its conclusion, it becomes clear that her life intersects with Monique's own in tragic and irreversible ways. It's as heartbreaking yet beautiful. I've heard about this book through the grapevine, and then I thought it sounded good. A little, I don't know. It says beach
What's
read,
the
like
full
as
title? The 7 Husbands of what?
of Evelyn Hugo.
I read that one, but I won't mind reading it again. And it's a genre that I typically like don't like as much or go towards, but I actually would also really recommend it.
I read it and Crystal read it because we were gonna start, and it stopped on me, it's my bad, but we were gonna start like the Sisterhood of Traveling Pants, but kind of like books. So Crystal recommended that book a long time ago and it never got chosen. So she started reading it, she sent it to me. I was supposed to send it to either Karina or Jailene, and then Karina just started reading it. So we all kind of read it, but it's really good. I don't know if I'd be able to not say something about it. I
Maybe
confuse it
that's
with
how
a
I heard
different
of
book.
it.
Yeah, I confuse it with this
Heard of
other
it
book
from
that's
you guys?
from the same like time era. But it's a good one.
I read Malibu Rising by her too, and it was pretty, again, kind of like different, but
Yeah,
it hooks you in.
it made me like kind of want to watch old movies because
Old
of her
movies are
story.
really good.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I do have to send it in. I'm sorry. Maybe this weekend. I think we wrote the titles of our books in the chat, and then we picked. Yes, because I think that's the way we were able to
have them fresh, the titles fresh in their brains.
I wrote them down, but I don't think that's how we did it.
I can type them in really quick too, if that helps.
Oh, cool. You have them
prefer-
all?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if I will.
I just typed mine in.
Okay. Well, we can do that too.
Okay.
And then we did we did top 3, right?
Yes, top 3. It ends with...
That helps with the math, right?
Yeah.
Did I just take mine off?
You can still put it.
Okay, and then we just want vote for it.
It's okay. Put it in.
It ends with this. Okay. So top 3, and we can't put enter, right? Is that what we said?
We'll push enter with the votes when, oh yeah, we have to type it like this because when you hit,
1 title, 2 title, and then all that.
unless you want us to do it like top, like number 1 pick, vote, and then number 2. I don't know if it's easier for you to sort them that way.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Let me type Katie's in here. So the key, please. So there should be 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, it's Achilles.
Oh, Achilles.
Here.
Oops. Thank you.
Like if you ever saw Troy, that's the Brad Pitt character.
I think I
Yeah.
sent I typed it, but I only sent it to Dilene. Sorry,
That's okay.
Dilene is probably like, what?
I like that I did a phonetic spelling. I heard of Achilles.
I was trying to tell her to vote for my book.
Oh, I see Katie's doing promoting on the side.
Oh, Katie. The dialing, no wonder. I think you can all put all 3 books if you want.
Okay, I need a little bit of thinking time.
And then I'll just do the scores.
All right.
Okay, let's see. One. Is that it? And are y'all ready?
Ready.
Okay, press enter when I say go. 3, 2, 1, go ahead. Whoa. Okay, let me get a different color. The song is 1. Green Mile. That's what that is. 3. 3. Song. That one. Empire. Number 2. Green Mile. Song. For the Crawdads. Empire of Pain. The Green Mile. The Husbands. Last one. Where the Crawdad. Empire of Pain. Song. Crawdads. And the Green Mile. So we have 6, 4, 5. Can we just have Katie do all our book recommendations? Because the Song of Achilles was the top one.
Excellent.
Yes.
Amazing.
Good job, Katie.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry, Paola, that you have to read it again.
Well, there's at least one time in, well, you know what, we might be done with it by the time in September. Like there's at least one weekend where I can't make it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I read it last year, so I don't remember everything that happens. So I don't mind reading it again. It's really good. So you guys chose well.
I'm excited.
Now, whenever we do our theories, you can see how dumb we are with the ideas we have.
I'll just be like,
yeah,
on mute, camera off.
Camera off, and you're completely like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll just send like the little stickers.
Or there's a little eye emoji, like the wide eye one.
Mm-hmm. The sus.
This one. It's harder and harder to pick every time, though. Ay.
Yep. Okay, well, I'll put that up, and we can get our books ready. Probably start the 29th, because next week will be our last one.
Oh yeah. And should we take off for Labor Day? Or is it Labor Day?
That's true.
I think we should.
Yeah. It should be the 6th, 5th to 6th. So it would be the 5th. Yeah. So, yeah, so we can start the 29th, and the following weekend we wouldn't do it. Yeah. And we'll make it to the next meeting.
29th to the 12th would be the next one.
The 12th? Did I leave?
It's,
Or didn't I? I'll update it on Instagram.
all right.
Okay.
There's
Well,
a
have a
chance
good night.
I might not be here next week, so
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'll try to make it with
Okay.
the girls' baptism.
Oh, don't try to make it. Like, that's
Well, I mean, that's like, it's like in the day, but I don't know if we'll be like, you know, totally
oh
done
no, don't worry
by
about
8.
it. I mean, we can. Do you guys want to reschedule it? For the...
No, still do it. Or maybe I'll be late or something.
We could do a later time too. That's okay with me.
Okay.
Well, I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay. You can send
'Cause I
me
mean-
a message and see what's up, but
Yeah, because hopefully we're done by 8.
We're like, we better be done by 8.
What are you doing that Sunday?
It's the girls' baptism, and
your
then
baptism. That's a special
we're having like a
day.
little party after. But I mean, the girls need to go to bed by then, so hopefully we're done.
Okay,
You're
well,
not going to keep partying after the.
Hopefully not.
okay, well,
Okay.
have a good
Good
rest of
night.
the week. Enjoy the last bit.
Have a good night, guys.
Very excited.
Bye.
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 Let's see. Goodbye.